Port of Durban to assess the progress in enhancing the efficiency and competitiveness of the port. For more on this, we cross live to our colleague Vusi Khumalo, who's also following President Cyril Ramaphosa's visit to the Durban Port. A very good morning to you, Vusi. What can you tell us this morning?
Yes, good morning, Desiree. As you put it in your intro, that the President has already arrived here in the port city of Durban, here in KwaZulu-Natal. Well, he's here to monitor the developments with the muted plans for the port, especially for the Durban, as he did say that he will be relaunching, and they would like to, as government, and also to reposition the port city of Durban to be the main hub port, as well as other muted plans for the relocation of the port, of the container terminal, as well as the headquarters of Transnet to be based in Ngqura in the Eastern Cape. Well, Durban, as you know, that the port is one of the largest and busiest in the Southern Hemisphere, handling about 4,500 vessels or ships, as well as also 83,000 containers on a monthly basis. Well, the reaction has been mixed with some reactions to these muted plans for the port city headquarters to be moved to the Eastern Cape, with some role players labeling the move as one of those that is being moving towards privatization of the port, or one of the SOEs, or state-owned entities in the country. With me is Claude Moodley, who's representing the Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal, of which they've also have an input to the plan. But what we can say is that even the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal did say that they were taken aback by this relocation of the headquarters to the Eastern Cape. Let us talk to some of the role players in the industry and talk to Claude Moodley, who's going to tell us about, just to get your reaction, sir, regarding the relocation of the headquarters of Transnet to Ngqura in the Eastern Cape.
Now, Vusi, thank you so much, Vusi, for that question. As you indicated, my name is Claude Moodley. Firstly, we definitely are not happy that the head office is moving to Kuka, and there's a number of reasons for that. But we do understand the reasons behind the move, and we have to basically stand behind those decisions. But there has been an outcry from a number of private sector, especially those big businesses in KZN, to say that insufficient consultation has been done on this matter, and it does affect their business confidence, especially when it comes to the expansion plans and their growth plans for businesses in KZN.
Okay, how critical a role does Durban Port play in driving trade into the province? Yeah.
Now, Vusi, if you look at, there's close to 60% of all containerized goods move through the Durban Port in and out, to Southern Africa. So it's a vital conduit for products to move in and out of the province. We also see the Durban Port, and we appreciate the fact that it's now being called labeled hub port, so that status is actually quite important for us, and that is on the back of the fact that there are great opportunities on the forefront, especially with the launch of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, and we see a lot more increase in products moving in and out of the Durban Port into Africa in the next few years.
So what's the expected impact based on this relocation?
Well, we see, as I said, from a point of investor confidence, we see that it definitely is going to impact on that. We'd like to see the fact that there's a focused farm Transnet on operations here in KZN, and I think we will work very closely with Transnet and other stakeholders to ensure that the businesses in the region can see the benefits of the relocation, and the fact that there won't be a focused move on attention from the Durban Port. We have engaged with Transnet. We are aware of a number of expansion plans where we will see the port expanding to cater from 2.9 TEUs to just over 10 million TEUs in the next coming years, and that's really great news for us in KZN. But I think the focus shouldn't move away from how do we increase efficiencies in the port, how do we make the port economical. I think that's what we need to do. We need to move from a point where the port, from it being a busy port, to being an efficient and an economical port.
And last year, how has trade and investment been affected by the lockdown?
Well, if you look at the hard lockdown that took place around Q1 and Q2, we saw a major contraction in trade, and we saw the economy. I think on a quarterly basis there was a contraction of just over around 50%. But in Q3 we see a major improvement of about 60%. But overall, we saw a negative result on the GDP of the country, where we contracted between 7 and 8%. But moving forward, I think the exports, we've benefited from the rand being at 14 rand, 15 rand to the US dollar, and exports have actually outstripped the imports, which means that we've had a positive trade balance. But we need to look at how do we grow from there. It was difficult times. We understand the impact of COVID, with borders being closed, as well as trading partners being offline. But moving forward, I think there's a great opportunity for us to build from where we've come. Thank you.
Okay. The last question here, with the muted plans, with the relocation also on the cards, what is needed in order to revive or boost investor confidence, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, taking into consideration the relocation of the port? Yeah. As you know, that KZN is largely dependent on its logistical support, such as these ports as well as railway and roads.
Yeah. No, Vusi, I think we are privy to some of the plans that the Transnet has actually got in place to look at the port expansions, in improving the efficiencies in the port. But I think what needs to transpire is how do we engage with private sector and other stakeholders around this to make sure that this message is passed on and people are aware of what the plans are and how we contribute to making this place an efficient place to do business. The port is a conduit that we see for products to go in and out of Africa. And as I said early on, we need to look at moving away from being a busy port to being an efficient and an economical port. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. That's Mr. Claude Moodley, who's the Executive Manager of the Ports and Promotion and Development here at the Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal, giving us his reaction with regards to the relocation of the headquarters of Transnet to Ngqura in the Eastern Cape. While we know that the problems of the port in here in Durban are well documented, with some delays and as well as congestion in container traffic, which could have perhaps resulted to the president call that the port will be, the headquarters will be moved to the Eastern Cape in Ngqura area. Well, with that said, it's back to you. We know that the president is also around the town to also unpack and also monitor the developments with regards to the relocation and also check the progress made so far.
Thank you so much, Vusi Khumalo. Clearly, a lot of strategic issues when it comes to this visit, particularly with regards to that stated mission of the government to regrow the economy.